Hey everybody, it's Cameron time. I'm going to do a DaVinci Resolve presentation of Resolvecon and stuff. Wait, did I read that right? It's just a piece of paper. That's it, you saw correctly. I'm going to be doing a presentation at Resolvecon this year. My mind is blown that I have this opportunity, and I'm so excited to see what you guys think of what is going to happen. I have no idea what's going to happen, but it's going to be great! Now, I'm sure if you're watching this, you've seen Casey's announcement video as well, so I don't want to bore you with all the announcement like, hey, this is Resolvecon, go check it out! Instead, in keeping with the spirit of this channel, I just thought I'd show you 3 quick tips. So jumping right into Resolve, we'll start on Fusion. I'm going to show a tip for the Fusion, Color, and Fairlight pages. For the Fusion page, I'm going to show an easy outline trick that you can use, and I'm going to show 2 different variances of it. So let's say you have something cut out that you want to add an outline around, whether that's a person or a box or whatever it may be. On whatever node that your image is coming from, we're going to click on it and we're going to add a brightness contrast node. And then after the brightness contrast node, we're going to press Shift Space and we're going to add an edge detect. And then we're going to drag from this image output here and drag it on top of the output of the edge detect. And that's going to overlay it on top of the edge detect. And then in our brightness contrast node, we're going to check pre-divide post multiply, bring lift all the way up, and that's going to make it a solid white background, as you can see here. And then with edge detect, we're going to go to mode and set to grayscale edges. And now we can select our color that we want the outline to be. And then we can do things like modify the width, we can modify the brightness, the gamma, the blur, etc. until we get exactly what we're looking for. And then the second method of doing this, which is a somewhat similar approach but gives a slightly different flavor of outline, we're going to select our image output again, we're going to press Shift Space, and we're going to add an erode dilate node. I'm going to bring that up here just for visualization. And then we're going to add a color generator node. And then for this one, we want to output the erode dilate into the mask input of the color generator. And then we're going to do the same thing we did before, image output into the color generator output, making a merge node. And then we can go into the erode dilate. Let's make it circle. And then if we bring this up, we'll see that we get another outline. And then inside our color generator, once again, we can make whatever color we want. And this one becomes a little bit more of a solid color. So if you want a more solid color option, the erode dilate color generator option is better. If you want a softer, more feathery edge type look, the edge detect might be the way to go. Although you can also add a blur after this color generator as well, and you get some sort of faded background. And the nice thing about either method is if you go back to your image output and you add a transform node and you bring down your size, the edge will detect the outside of that part as well. And just remember the transform goes before whatever the outline effects are. The next tip is on the color page, and this one involves 2 different nodes. And just for clarification, these 2 nodes are just transforms from camera space to DaVinci Wide Gamut and DaVinci Wide Gamut to Rec 709 Gamma 2.4. So for this first node, we're going to set this node into linear gamma. And for the second node, we're going to set the color space to LAB. And we're going to disable channel 1, and then optionally we can also set it to the color composite mode. This only adds a slight difference in density, but it's not a huge difference. But the first thing we're going to do is we're going to shift our linear gain more warm, and we're going to push it a little bit more warm than we normally would here, but keeping that skin tone line intact. And then we're going to go to this LAB node, and then we're going to bring the gain down and watch what happens. We essentially have a basic split tone effect. And just to show a more extreme example here, I'm just going to push this way too far, more than I normally would. And then I'm just going to bring this one back to its normal color balance. And you can see we have a really nice split tone effect. If you'd like me to go more in depth on this LAB color space, please let me know and I will be sure to do a dedicated video about it. But what's really cool to note about this space is you can move the gamma, gain, and that skin tone line will basically stay right on line. So if you want to adjust white balance without affecting skin tone green magenta shift, this is a great way to do it. And finally on the Fairlight page, we have a unique trick with the music remixer that you might not have explored before. So obviously with the music remixer, we have the option to mute different stems per se, but this really only gives you volume control over each one. But let's say you wanted to EQ or add reverb or do some other effect to one of the stems individually. Well, one thing you can do is let's just make 5 different tracks here. And then on each one, we're going to only leave one of the options on. So we'll just go ahead and do that for each one. And now each one has a different stem that is enabled. And when you play it back, the track sounds like it normally would. And if we just start playing back the vocals just to hear that too. So let's go into track 1 and let's go ahead and go into our effects and let's just add some reverb onto the track. Well, now only the vocals will get that reverb. Now, whether or not that actually sounds good is irrelevant. But you can do this on each individual track, and we can EQ different tracks as well. So if I bring this out and I bring this up, I'm going to mute the reverb in case it doesn't sound good. Let's just go ahead to audio 3, and let's just say we wanted to enhance the bass a little bit more. So this gives us so much more control over how the song sounds, especially if there's a part of the song that we just really don't like or something that we want to tweak. Now we have much better control over it. So those were my 3 quick tips. Be sure to check out some of my other videos to get you ready for what is going to be an absolute monstrosity of a presentation. I'm just kidding, it's gonna be something. But I'm truly so excited to be a part of the Resolvecon lineup. It's absolutely stacked. There's so many amazing presenters, returning presenters and new ones. It's going to be absolutely legendary, and if you're new here, you can check me out on Twitch right here, and feel free to ask me any questions while I'm live as well. This is Camera Tim, signing out. There's videos up there too, but if you clicked on them, you wouldn't be seeing this, so